Oh, the magic of Mr. Bardo. Nobody does it better in the business as you take a look at our Cleveland Clinic Sports Health Game Summary. Cleveland Clinic Sports Health, all your sports health needs under one roof. You can see the score's been tied up here in the second half, and the two players that we focused on at the beginning of the game are leading the way in their respective MAC Conference Player of the Week in the East and the West, both of them with 23 points and then a turnover by the Falcons. But the problem is Eastern's had plenty of chances here, Jackie, but really hasn't done much to close the gap.
Yeah, they haven't been able to capitalize. They've done a good job of getting stops and causing some turnovers, but coming away with empty possessions here in the offensive end with a couple missed free throws and a couple turnovers of their own.
Daniel Havel checks back in with 4 personal fouls here with 7.5 left to go. Eastern within 16. And they've had plenty of chances to try and close it. James inside the Reddit working on Rogers. Tries with the left hand, good.
What a great move going over her right shoulder to finish left. Not something we've seen her do. She's typically going baseline and finishing right, but a big time move there by Reddit.
11 points, 13 rebounds for Paige Reddit. Collins goes sliding into the score table trying to check Slagle. Slagle with the move around Collins, and she'll get called for the reach. Well, that was all Jess Slagle there. They looked like they were out on the playground. Little sister trying to chase around the big sister. They give Collins a lot of credit.
Yeah, she's extremely intelligent player, and you can see that by the pace and the setup there. You know, not going to blaze by you with speed, but does a great job of attacking back towards half court and using a just change of pace move to be able to attack baseline.
The Bowling Green with just 2 points in the last 5 minutes, but Eastern hasn't done a whole lot. There was a 22-point lead in the second half. It's down to 14. Reddit trying to cut it, and she'll draw the foul from Alexis Rogers. Paige Reddit has asserted herself here in the second half.
She really has, and they're doing a nice job of going right at Alexis Rogers. But now she's got to capitalize. We've seen her miss a couple free throws here over the last several minutes, and she's got to be able to turn these possessions into positive ones by putting points up on the board.
Third personal for Alexis Rogers as Reddit fires. Reddit's been at the free throw line. She's just 3 for 8 there. Most of them here in the second half.
And Bowling Green doesn't want to get too comfortable here. I mean, this is, Kathleen James can make this this kind of difference up in no time. 13-point lead. It's closest Eastern's been in a while. Great pass underneath to Jasmine Matthews. She couldn't convert, and then Collins runs into Havel. Both of them feeling that one. And then a technical foul called on Kurt Miller. Kurt's going to call his team over to talk about it, but Miller did not like the collision between Collins and Havel and no call. Yeah, there was obviously coming off the Matthews miss there as a loose ball and bodies flying, and Havel just didn't fall down, and Kurt not happy with that at all. That's going to be a technical every time.
That call just undressed Kurt Miller.
Yes. Yeah, and this is a, I mean, we still are at a very pivotal point in the game. This is going to be, 2 free throws here, and you can tell he is still extremely fired up over there. And we've got a lot of basketball here still to be played.
And you got one of the best free throw shooters in the league at the line. James is number 2 in the conference at 84% free throw shooting, and Kurt Miller going to try to calm down as James makes both.
And they're going to get the ball back, so you go from having the ball up 13 to now 11-point lead and the ball. Well, here we go, they're going to give it back too. I was going to say point of interruption play, so on the technical there. So Bowling Green will retain possession, but 2 points in the last 5:35 for Bowling Green.
11-point lead. If there was ever a time they needed Alexis Rogers to come alive, it's right now. Rogers will draw the foul. The crowd comes alive at that call there on Sarah Stone.
Yeah, and a great place to go for it for a struggling from the offensive end of the floor right now Bowling Green team is get it back into the hands of an individual of where you have found success so far today, and that's been that's been Alexis Rogers for them.
And she is good there. 24 for Rogers, along with 9 rebounds. She's closing in on her 5th double-double in the last 6 games.
Shockingly, right?
Yeah.
Never would have saw that one coming.
Boy, how good is she going to be at the end of the year? We see her get better and better by the week. 13-point lead. Collins on a step around. Schlegel gets inside. Collins had it roll off the back rim. Havel comes down with a rebound. Big rebound there by Danielle Havel. There's Chrissy Steffen, the other side. Good ball movement by the Falcons. Schlegel on the drive inside, and she'll draw the foul on Sarah Stone.
You can see Bowling Green kind of piggybacking a little bit off of this momentum and the fire that we saw to Kurt Miller after the technical, but Schlegel again, change of pace here. Jab step and draws contact.
Gilbert got a great job out of her bench. They brought them back into this game. You think of Sarah Stone was in there, Chelsea Height was in there, Taylor Bird's in there now, along with Aisha Collins. She's about to send Foudy and Watkins back into the basketball game, but when you get that out of your bench on the road to get them back in the game, now she's going to set up her 5 starters and say, look, it's yours to win last 6 minutes.
Yeah, they've certainly gotten some solid minutes out of their bench, which I don't want to say it's not expected. I don't mean to say that, but just a team that is not used to really having to turn to their bench. We just talked about in the Central Michigan game, you know, 3 players. One of them played 40 minutes. Watkins and Foudy played 39. Reddit had played 40. I mean, that's a lot of minutes out of your big-time players. And to come in this environment knowing what's at stake and you have to go to your bench and still claw away at it, hats off to those young ladies on their performance this afternoon.
BG, not a very good free throw shooting team, which is very unusual for a Kurt Miller squad to be 10th in the league in free throw shooting. Yeah. This was a team that was the top in the country last year at one point.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a frustrating thing for him. I know he's a stats and really just wants to keep the free points. I mean, those are easy buckets and ways to really expand leads, or a way if you're not scoring points to keep teams in the game. And I'm sure that'll be a point of emphasis for them as they continue to grind through conference play, is getting results at the charity stripe.
Off the miss. Boy, Havel had some huge rebounds here in the last couple of minutes, and none bigger than that one there. You get possession back with 5:25, and Collins and Schlegel continue to battle. Schlegel and Collins have collided a couple times here in the backcourt. The freshman out of Chicago keeping her eye on the senior out of Sydney, Ohio, who will go to the line here with 5:26 left to go. And she knocks that one down. Desiree Thomas will check back in, the sophomore from Waterford, Michigan. The starting 5 back on the floor for both squads now here in the final 5:26. Second one is up and no good. Rebound by Watkins. 15-point game, under 5.5 to go here in the second half. Watkins working on Steffen inside, got underneath, now goes back up and then traveled with the basketball. Well, Watkins did a good job to get down underneath, got her own miss, but then turned the ball over with some extra steps, and now you'll see some pressure from Eastern. Token pressure, they'll back off. And I think you'll see Kurt Miller start to slow things down a little bit as the clock becomes their best friend.
Yeah, that's one of the things I think that they've wanted to do all game, was just to run their offense, move the basketball around, force Eastern Michigan to really work at this end of the floor, and then take the easy open look.
And that's been there all day.
Why not?
1 on the shot clock. They get it inside. Rogers turns, basket, and the foul.
That's a good place for it as the shot clock is winding down, and does a great job of turning to the middle and getting the touch and the finish. She has unbelievable hands and feel.
Career high 27 points for the transfer from Duke and make it 28. Fourth personal foul on Natasha Watkins. It took her about a minute and a half to collect it. And now the lead is ballooned back up to 18. So Eastern certainly had their chances. They got to within 8 points, but couldn't convert from the free throw line and couldn't take advantage of some of the Bowling Green turnovers. There's going to be a foul called, which will put Tavalyn James back on the line. Should take another look.
Yeah, Matthews doing a nice job on her one-on-one, but Tavalyn James is just one.
Smart.
She's going to go get to the rim until she cannot get there, until the ball's in the hole, and draws contact.
One of the best shot creators in the league. She'll score from anywhere on the floor. When she has the ball, she's just so creative.
Well, she's great for the league because there's really not too many players like her. I mean, she is explosive in transition, fits into the style at Eastern Michigan so well. And probably Central Michigan is the only other team that we'll see this year that matches that type of up-tempo, score-at-will type mentality.
Milking the clock with 10 now. And that one was almost turned over as Stefan tried to hand it off to Slagle, and Watkins got a piece of it, so it'll be Bowling Green basketball when we come back. Media timeout on the floor, 3:58 left to go. Bowling Green's lead, thanks to Alexis Rogers and company, has ballooned 65-49.